What's up, nerds? Thank you for nerding out with us. We are here at the Nerd Lounge. My name is Austin. This is my beautiful wife, Ray. We are your friendly neighborhood movie review watch couple, movies and shows. And we're here for another episode. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. First things first, did you watch anything interesting this week?
We watched The Exorcist.
We did watch The Exorcist.
Yeah.
A subscriber on TikTok told us to watch The Exorcist, so we watched it. Thoughts? Feelings?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really long.
It was long. It was 2 hours.
It was long in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because we started it, and then we stopped, and then we started watching it again. So, I thought it was a good movie, though. That was my first time seeing it.
That was my first time seeing it as well. I'm not going to lie. I'm not trying to... Because I do make a big effort to try to be a horror guy, but I've never seen it. So it was the first time I've watched it. So go ahead and roast us in the comments. But yeah, it was good. It had like the climax, and then like they went back for like the second time, and then like everybody died. And I thought it was a little abrupt, but...
Everybody died.
Like at the very end where they do like the whole like power of Christ compels you, and then like
and then the priest died.
And then the priest is like, we'll come back again when we try again, and then he like leaves him out, and then he goes in there and the old guy dies, and then the other guy's like, take me, and then like throws himself out the window, which I get, like self-sacrifice. It was a smart play, but
but is that an actual, exorcisms? There's a debate: are they real? Are they not real? So do we think that if the body is being possessed, do we think that the D word dies within the host, or does it leave and find its next vessel?
It would probably try to find another vessel, I would think.
Yeah.
Because if it's already transcending this spiritual plane, now we're getting very spiritual, but if it's already like transcending into like the natural world, then there's who's to say it wouldn't just do that again? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I give it like a solid 8. Yeah. I was scared.
It's definitely like a top tier classic horror film.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Very cool. Very, very cool. So I do apologize. I don't know who wrote the comment, but I will post it in the video. So now we're going to go into our Nerd Breaker.
All right.
You ready for it?
Yep.
All right. As always, we're going to do a cut 5, keep 5. They're just like fun and easy to put together, and we like doing them. And we like when you guys do it with us alongside in the comments and stuff like that too. So this episode, we are talking about...
Agatha All Along. I'm sorry, Loki.
Our cat is going crazy.
He is spazzing out on the ottoman.
You guys might be able to hear him. He's literally going crazy. What did we watch?
Agatha All Along.
Yeah, we watched Agatha All Along. The day before we filmed this, we watched every single episode, and we also watched most of WandaVision to catch up as well. So, in the spirit of that, we're going to do a cut 5, keep 5 with witchy characters. So, as always, as before, I will read the entire list. You guys will make your lineups, and then we'll see how they match up with Ray's list, okay?
You guys were investing in an iPad so that this prehistoric dinosaur can be put away.
Yeah, it's like a 45-pound laptop. It's pretty great. Okay, so we have the Enchantress from DC Comics, the White Witch from Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe, Ursula, Mad Madam Mim, the Scarlet Witch, Maleficent, Bellatrix Lestrange, the Wicked Witch of the West, Agatha Harkness, and Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Okay. So I'm doing a cut 5, keep 5. This is probably going to be really easy for me, and people are probably going to give me a lot of crap about it.
Who cares?
But these are witches that I personally love. Okay, so who is that again?
That's Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter.
I like Harry Potter, but I don't know their names though.
Oh, she's like one of the Death Eaters. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut Sabrina the Teenage Witch, even though I watched her growing up, and I'm going to keep Ursula. Okay. I'm gonna cut Madam Mim.
Gonna cut Madam Mim.
and I am going to keep the Enchantress.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to cut... Ooh. I'm going to cut the Good Witch, or the Green Witch, sorry.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
Wicked Witch of the West. Isn't that like the same witch, though, technically?
Well, there's the Wicked Witch of the East, the Wicked Witch of the West, and then Glenda...
But isn't she technically the Green Witch? She's from Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah.
So she's technically the Green Witch, right?
I don't know if she's called the Green Witch, but she's called the Wicked Witch.
Okay, the Wicked Witch. And I am going to keep Wanda.
Okay. Saw that coming. It's alright. She's awesome.
I'm going to cut the Good Witch. That's the Good Witch, right?
Who?
Her.
That's the White Witch from
the
Lion,
White
the
Witch.
Witch and the
I'm
Wardrobe.
sorry. Usually we have like titles on some of these and we don't. And I'm going to keep Agatha because I have to keep her because she is a queen.
Okay. So you got Maleficent and Bellatrix.
Bellatrix.
Yeah.
I'll keep Bellatrix and I'll cut Maleficent only because I feel like people are going to be like, how could you cut her out? She's from Harry Potter. Oh my god.
But then the same people would also say, how could you cut Maleficent? She's so classic.
I know, Maleficent is a classic, but yeah.
Maleficent's pretty awesome. All right. So that was that. That was our Nerd Breaker.
Read them my roster.
My wife's
My lineup, my team.
lineup is, let's see how you guys match up. Ursula, Enchantress, Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, Agatha Harkness, and Bellatrix Lestrange.
I'm whooping ass with that team.
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, between Enchantress and Wanda and Agatha.
I'm whooping ass.
Enchantress, that would be a fun... I wonder if that's on Death Battle, Enchantress versus Scarlet Witch or something like that.
I don't know.
I wonder. Okay, so let us know what you guys chose so that we can match up in the comments.
Well, who would you pick?
Well, I'll definitely keep Madame Mim because Sword in the Stone is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I would probably go... I'll probably go nostalgia. I'll probably go Madame Mim, Sabrina, Agatha, because her show was really good.
We just gave it away what you thought about it.
I'll bleep it out. They'll be like, her show was weep. And Bellatrix, I like Bellatrix as a villain, and I'll probably go White Witch because I loved the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe movies.
I've never seen Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
And the books. They're really good. There's only like 3 of them. I think they should make more of them, but yeah, I'll go Mim, Agatha, the White Witch, Bellatrix, and probably Maleficent.
Okay. His team sucks.
So, yeah, let us know. And
sorry.
That was our Nerd Breaker. All right, so we will go right into our meat and potatoes, and we will review Agatha All Along. We'll give our ranking out of 10. We'll talk about questions, thoughts, theories, the good, the bad, everything in between. So my ranking out of 10 is like 8.5. Pretty high.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Mine's a 9.5.
9.5?
Yeah. And then I actually have IMDb's rating.
Okay.
IMDb's rating is 7.3.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 83%.
That's not bad.
I think 83% is not that bad, but 7.3? Yeah.
That seems low.
7.3?
That seems low. The show was really good.
You guys are lame. Giving it a 7.3 out of 10.
So let us know in the comments what you guys would rank this show out of 10. And some of your favorite moments. I don't think I had much of a too dull of a moment. At the very end, when it was like recapping Agatha's story and then like bring it back to like Billy and like about like the road and stuff like that, I felt a little disjointed, but other than that, I really enjoyed the entire show. What?
A little disjointed?
I mean, it was like kind of abrupt. It was like her story and then really.
We're going to start from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
We're not going to start at the end to the beginning. Then you're going to confuse
our viewer.
The viewer. the singular person watching this.
Yeah. And we love you, viewer. You're noble to our cause.
So we'll get into like why, but we'll start from point A to point Z. Yeah.
All right. So I have my notes here for all of the episodes. And so episode 1 was her and the illusion.
Yeah.
And I thought that because the first 2 episodes that were released were the first episodes that were released were episode 1 and 2, right? Mm-hmm. So I personally liked it that was like part of the illusion, and I really liked her acting. I thought she was super funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
As like this detective who's like down and out or whatever, who's like trying to regain her reputation and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting. One question that I did write down was, how do the townspeople view her when she was saying, "I'm just spouting nonsense"? Is that what it is? She's just like a crazy lady?
Basically.
Yeah?
I think so.
And he said, you're on the true crime kick.
Even in you have the true crime bug.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think it was a thing of, they were just like, let's just go with it. Because I'm sure every person within Westview had how they handled their situation after Wanda was gone, Because
they were like aware of it.
Yeah.
They became aware of like the illusion, or they were mostly always aware. Their mind was hijacked kind of thing, right? So I think they were like aware of it happening, but they couldn't do anything.
So it's probably like a thing of, they're like, this is how she's handling it. She's just a little kooky.
Oh, well, didn't they know at the end that Agatha was the witch? But the big witch fight at the end of WandaVision?
But was I think the illusion was still there at the end.
The hex?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, like when they seen her and Captain Rambo, Wanda and Captain Rambo in the yard, and Agatha went over there to stop it, everyone was still in the illusion. Like they seen Wanda's hand glowing red, but after Agatha walked Wanda away, they kind of just went back to doing what they were doing.
Okay. And then the other thing about this episode was that she knew about the car crash 1 hour before the time of death, which was the car crash that we find out later with Teen.
Yeah.
Right? So I was always watching this show all the way through. I really enjoyed it. It seemed very well thought out. Mm-hmm. It seemed like they knew exactly the story they were telling before the first episode was released, and I admire that. I think that's like the best way to tell the story when you have everything put together, right? Do you have thoughts and figures?
No, like at first when we started episode 1, I was kind of like, where are they going with this? Like, this is really weird and random. But as it went on, once it got towards the end of episode 1, where Agatha is coming out of all of the
layers,
all of the years of what basically Wanda has put her through within the hex, then it was great.
Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't overdo like the illusion imprisonment part. It was perfectly enough what you needed, and then it did kind of like just get her out of it, but it's been 3 years, so she's like, it makes sense that after 3 years all the pieces would be in place to help her get out, stuff like that. I will say that the more Wikipedia research that I do, going back and watching it, people that probably know about the comics knew that she was Death from the beginning.
Oh, Rio?
Rio, yeah.
Well, yeah, she came in Agatha's house in all black.
But that's like what she looks like in the comics, like the cloaked black. Yeah. So if you guys are comic book fans, you probably already knew what was going on, which is really cool. So yeah, episode 1, really good start. Mm-hmm. Episode 2.
Episode 2, I thought episode 2 was like the actual start of the season.
You could probably watch episode 2 with not even really watching episode 1.
I can watch episode 2 like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times.
I
thought it was one of the better episodes within the, what's it called, series, season, episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
And it was
especially the song. The song is a bop.
It was the episode that gave us that banger Witch's Road ballad, or Ballad of the Witch's Road or something.
Ballad of the Witch's Road, yeah.
I will say though, Agatha says there's a coven stead, which means that there's within 3 mile radius there's a witchy enough people. Within a 3 mile radius across like the entire country, is there that many people in the world that are witchy enough? And if that's the case, wouldn't somebody know about somebody who's a witchy person?
She said they have to have just something a little bit special about them.
Because when they come together, there's the spark.
Right.
Yeah.
So even if it's like someone who like is a little touch of a clairvoyant, it's probably like enough.
Okay.
For her.
I'll save my questions for the end after we talk about everything. So, anything else in episode 2? Was Mrs. Hart just a random thrown in bystander then? She was never really...
At this point, I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced because if you have to have someone who has just a little bit of witchy enough to... But we'll go into that because, yeah, now it kind of like
we kind of want to talk about it
in steps.
In order, yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of messed up if she was just like a little old lady whose husband passed away, just tending to her yard.
I want to just talk about everything. Yeah, but yeah, okay. So
I did put the thing about this show is that when me and Austin first started watching it, I was like, this is going to happen and this is going to happen. And he's like, no, it's not. I don't believe that. And 9 things out of the 10 things I said happened. Right or am I wrong?
You had a lot of very accurate predictions.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
All right. So episode 2 brought us the Witch's Ballad, opened the Witch's Road, introduced the Salem 7. Really cool stuff. Kicking off the show. Episode 3, the first trial.
The first trial was
Jen's
the wine.
trial.
Was Jen's trial.
The poison wine.
Which is crazy because I do want to say some stuff, but like I said, we're trying to keep it in order.
Yeah, we're pretty much going through the episodes as if we have just watched it.
It was really good. I do like episode 3.
Yeah.
I wish Mrs. Hart was like more in it because like obviously at the end she's like poisoned basically. Mm-hmm. What do you mean no? I thought it was okay. I thought it was all right.
I liked the hallucinations, and my wife brought up that you never see Mrs. Hart's hallucination.
Yeah, you never
that
do.
She's like, don't hurt him or whatever.
She's like, no, saying. Wanda, stop. Let him breathe, I think. It's let him breathe or something.
But is that a callback to episode 1 of WandaVision where they have that dinner where he's choking?
Oh, maybe.
You know, and she says, Wanda, stop. Wanda, stop it. Stop it. Wanda, stop it.
Yeah,
and she's like
maybe,
fighting.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I think Agatha is really good. And like, granted, you don't have to watch WandaVision, but watching WandaVision can give you a lot of hidden context, I think, or hidden clues, because it really does directly relate into WandaVision and stuff, which I think is super, super smart. And the fact that it's like 3 years later, that it follows like the timeline that things are released and things like that. So yeah, episode 3, the poison trial, I thought was pretty good. I like that it's slowly fleshing most of our characters out at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
We also noticed something, well, I noticed, but I'll say we noticed something really cool is that every witch kind of has like a color of power. So every time they're headed towards a trial, the vines on
or like the pathway
lights up to whatever trial they're going to for whichever witch, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. That was a very nice detail. And as we watched it all the way through, it becomes very apparent that it's like they open it up and it's like
glowing
purple,
orange,
and it goes
purple.
into Agatha's thing,
Yeah.
for Agatha's trial. Yeah. Or like the orange. So
I think the first one was blue, and that's when Billy ran down the stairs first before everybody. Remember
just the door opening?
The door was glowing blue, and then they opened it, and the vines on the wall were blue, and Billy ran first because Billy never had. Billy wasn't like a part of the coven.
Yeah.
But Billy also never had a trial.
Right.
So could it be possible that Billy's trial was to go through the door himself? You know what I mean? So that's a question.
Yeah. No, very, very
good.
good.
They're noting about.
I'm writing notes so I don't forget about the stuff I want to talk about later, because I always do this. I'm like, oh, I will save that to the end, and then I forget about it. So, all right. So episode 4, which was
Alice's trial.
Alice's trial, which is the singing Lorna Woo's ballad in the jam off.
Excuse me.
And I think this is when they also, this is when they summon Rio with the incantation.
Oh yeah, because at this point,
because they need a green witch.
Hart has that. Oh my god, Loki actually made an appearance today, guys. He wants to nuzzle.
Everybody, thumbs up for our cat Loki.
He's gonna be a bit of a jerk right now.
Is he just gonna sit right there? Okay.
I guess
all right, on with the show.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
We got the cat
He's our little
and the dog. Cat. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, like the whole conversation between Rio and Agatha about like you get your bodies, or I get my bodies, you get your power back. Okay. That is all.
Okay. All right.
Okay, buddy, you gotta figure out where you're going, man. So, where was she the whole time, or did it just like zip her away from where she was and she came to where they were at?
I don't.
You know what I mean? Did it just like Doctor Strange her from one place to another?
She said something like, I heard you calling me, or something like that.
Okay.
Or she probably could have occurred there because, at this point now we know that Rio is death. We all know that. Because Mrs. Hart has died. So maybe or did she say like I was in the neighborhood?
Something like that.
And then she said like I was in the neighborhood and I heard you calling or something.
because Mrs. Hart died,
even though she's not a witch.
Yeah, but it's still.
But she's on the witch's road.
Death is just death. Like she's not biased.
She's the Grim Reaper.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So that's why she could have been there.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, I like that. Good observation. Billy flies through the window, or Teen flies through the window, and he's like, I guess I'm part of the coven now, and he's like bleeding, and then Agatha's like, don't, and then she looks at Death.
Yeah, she's like, don't. And then
she saves him. Jen saves him.
Yeah, and Rio has like this look on her face of like she wants to, but I don't know, it's like weird because they have like this sexual chemistry.
They've got like sexual tension and stuff.
But it's like, I don't know. Thoughts for after. It's weird.
Yeah. So episode 4 I thought was good, but
I think the
curse thing
was my least favorite.
Yeah, the curse, like the song was good and all that stuff, and like another way to put another song in, but the whole curse thing, it didn't really play into the rest of the story.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Well, no, because it's trials. So Jin's trial was potions. She doesn't have her witchcraft, but she has the capability of knowing. She has the knowledge to make it. So you're like breaking a barrier of something that like you fear. Like I can't be a witch because I don't have my power, but I'm still making potions.
Sure.
You know,
you still know how to do it. You just don't have like witchcraft ability.
Right. Yeah. And then you go to the second trial, which was who's again?
Alice?
Oh, okay, we're only at the second. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking 4.
Episode 4.
We're at the second trial where it's Alice. She's like, I always just thought it was me. Like, I can't keep a job. I can't do this. I can't do that. But like now she's facing the curse. So it's like you're facing the fear. You're overcoming what you fear the most.
Lilia did say the only way to break a curse is to face it.
Yeah.
So that is true.
So I thought it tied in. It just wasn't one of my top episodes. I feel like they just did the song and then you're playing the song again. Like it's a little bit different, but it's the same base of a song.
Yeah, but I like that they kind of changed it to make it like a protection spell, the ballad itself.
Yeah.
And that's why like she broke the curse because she's protecting them, I guess. You know?
I don't know.
So yeah, that was all right. And then as you're watching it, episode 4, the exit door is purple.
Yeah.
And then it goes into episode 5,
which is Agatha's trial.
Yeah. So the Agatha trial, I thought was a pretty good episode where they're in like the 80s. Uh-huh. It's kind of like...
It reminded me of Stranger Things.
It kind of plays it back to like Stranger Things or like even like Freddy, where they're like camp counselors or something like that. Or campers at Camp Crystal Lake or something like that.
A little bit.
Because Lilia was like an older woman, or is it supposed to be like the mom for Stranger Things? It kind of was a Stranger Things vibe.
It looked like Stranger Things for sure.
Yeah. So why do you think that when the mom, Evanora Harkness, was like, leave her with me and finish the road without Agatha, that Death is like, Rio's like, your mom can't have her. Because she has like the deal with her to get bodies.
No, what? I don't think it's the deal with the bodies. I think it's if she stays with her mom, she doesn't obviously die. Like I assume that if she stays with her, because her mom possessed her body twice, right? Mm-hmm. So is it a thing of where her mom would permanently possess her? Because it's not really Agatha dying. So I don't know. Or maybe because she needed... See, but everything kind of ties into the end for me now.
I know.
We're not trying to do spoilers.
We should just like go through each episode and then...
Yeah, so...
Go to the end, because I have a lot of thoughts.
Do you?
Yeah.
We're going to be here all day, guys.
So I did like it that it kind of shows like ghosts and stuff like that. So I really hope that this show has a lot of multiverse saga implications or something like that, because all the other shows pretty much tie it in.
Yeah.
You know, like Loki is, we gotta watch Loki season 2, but Loki's like super crazy now, like what happens in that season, so we gotta watch that. And I don't know, at the end we can talk about more stuff, but...
Okay. Pause, I forgot to mention something about episode 2. Okay. Jin's trial.
Okay.
So there was a bottle
Episode 3.
Episode 3, sorry. There was a bottle of wine, and me and Austin noticed the wine bottle.
Oh, yeah.
and they zoom it on it because it says...
It's like Reina Rioja or something
Rioja,
like that.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, because it's obviously poison. I'm like, death. I'm like, I wonder if this...
But Reina means queen.
Does it?
I think.
I actually, yesterday, and you didn't tell me.
I think it means queen or king.
Whatever. So I was like, I want to decipher what's on the bottle. And it's nothing special.
Is it just a...
It means elaborated in the people.
Oh.
And then the second line is, name what from origin qualified. Unless I deciphered it wrong, you guys...
Well, you're deciphering it literally.
Yeah.
The way that Spanish and Italian is that you kind of speak backwards, but yeah.
Yeah, so...
We thought it was like some hidden message.
It could mean something from like basically what that says. So if you guys have the time of day to want to sit there and kind of put it together, feel free. But that's what I got.
Right. And then in episode 5, that's when we see the introduction to Wiccan. Which is super interesting. So he's like reading Agatha's mind, and then Agatha kind of like seems like she kind of like flips out and like becomes her true self
for a minute,
a little bit. Yeah. But then in the following episodes, she does seem very protective and affectionate toward Billy. So
in episode 5, whose trial was episode 5?
That was Agatha's. That was the Ouija board.
Yeah, Ouija board. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I liked that episode a lot. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Again, each episode is like fleshing people out, and that was when Alice was protecting Agatha, or not Agnes. Alice. Did I say Agatha? Did I say Agnes? Or Alice. Alice was protecting Agatha and shot her with her power, and then she absorbed it and unfortunately killed her because she said she couldn't control it. And then we find out later,
which kind of sucks because it looks like Alice didn't even know she was aware that she had that power.
When she like shot it out, she
like, looked at her hands like, what the hell?
She was like surprised by it, yeah.
And she dies. Like, it kind of low-key sucks. It's like she got wiped out. Like, not super fast, but I expected Alice to be one of the people to be around for a minute.
But the more I think about it, when we get to the episode 7 discussion with Lilia's trial, it's like everyone serves their purpose.
Yeah.
You know? So, all right, episode 6 is like the flashback through with Billy and William Kaplan.
I wasn't a fan of this episode.
Yeah, so Ray didn't like it. I liked it because I'm very much into my Wikipedia research, and Marvel wiki fandom and things like that. I'm trying to learn and trying to read up and looking for comic books and stuff like that. Really, really cool stuff. He is like pretty super powerful, reads minds, manipulation, telekinesis, pretty much Scarlet Witch powers. So I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed the second half of the episode more than the first half of the episode. But I did like the bar mitzvah where he goes to get the reading from Lilia, and then you find out that Lilia put the sigil on him. And like the crash at going toward Eastview, and it seems pretty confirmed that William passed away.
And Billy...
And as the hex was closing, Billy put himself into his empty vessel, you know? Which is all stuff that I have read on Wikipedia, so if Wikipedia is wrong, let me know. Marvel Wiki fandom, the Marvel Wiki also has the same information and stuff like that, so it seems like they are...
following
trying
the
to go
storyline.
Yeah, trying to go comic accurate, which is really, really cool. I did like that they brought back Evan Peters.
Yeah.
In that episode. He's a good character. And you find out more about him. That really what happened to him and kind of what his deal was. Seems like he had a raw end of the deal, unfortunately. But yeah, really cool that it kind of legitimizes the entire, obviously like the Marvel universe, but like just the whole Westview, like it's all connected, you know. I really like that, like this show, you could watch this show and then watch Agatha and right after one another, and it could all be pretty seamless, it seems like.
Yeah. I did want to, while watching WandaVision, the brooch that Agatha is so obsessed with is her mom's brooch.
Oh.
She took it off of her mom after she killed her.
Oh, at the flashback episode in WandaVision? Mm-hmm. No way.
Yeah. Oh. So it's her mom's brooch.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Cool little detail there. Yeah, and she's wearing the brooch the entire time in WandaVision. So they obviously, it seems like when they're making WandaVision, either they're going so comic accurate with that they're following that, or they know what their whole timeline is.
Yeah.
Either way. So good on ya, Marvel Studios. Ready to go. Moving on. Episode 7, which is, you know what, I should have wrote down all the titles of the episodes because they all coincide with the song.
Oh my god.
Episode 6 was Familiar by Thy Side. I know that. Are you gonna look it up right now?
This guy. Episode 7, Death's Hand in Mine. I'm so fast. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, you are. That was
Look
good.
at that.
Oh, good. Perfect. Okay. All right. So episode 7 is where they go to, where it's like the Wizard of Oz trial, the tarot card trial.
That was like probably my favorite episode.
Lilia's episode. It's probably the best episode.
Honestly, though, watching that, I told him yesterday, I was like, watching this episode makes me feel like this episode is not 30 or 40 something minutes long. It seemed like an hour long because there's so many like cut, go back, cut, go forward, cut, go back, cut, go forward, and it's like a puzzle. It's like you're in Lilia's mind, which is cool, but it's like so much back and forth that you don't know like at what point like is she in past, the actual present, future? Reality of what's going on in her mind.
Yeah,
like if your mind's like that, I would not be able to handle that. I would freak out all the time.
It's really cool that she was saying that she like lived her life out of sequence. So it's really interesting to think at the end, but I like this episode because I think it kind of plays into the whole tarot card of like the card of death, which is not the end of something, but also a new beginning.
I was just saying what you were saying at the same time.
Yeah. So at the end of the episode, she's falling. Like the whole tower upright thing, that part was super sick. And then cool. Like they go onto the swords that are in the ceiling. And then she goes back into her younger body. So is she living her life backwards? Is she living her life out of sequence? Or is her filling in those gaps, putting her in sequence now that she like lives her life throughout? Or is that like her afterlife?
Or is that what she got from the road? Because she was like, everything's starting to fall back into the place. The gaps are filling in. And the road gives you...
what you need or whatever?
What you needed. And what she needed was a coven.
Or what you're missing, yeah.
And what she needed was to fill in those gaps. And she did that. So Lilia might not be dead. Because you don't see her body. You see Alice's body. You see Miss Hart's body. You don't see Lilia's body's dead.
And you definitely see the Salem 7 strike on those swords, but you don't see Lilia.
Right.
Before it happens, she goes back into her younger self.
Yeah.
And then I think it's her mom.
She says, let's begin.
She says, let's start, or let's begin. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think, if anything, Lilia could have gotten out and then put herself into whatever little time loop
like
of
sequence.
Yeah, to be with her mom, to be like, okay, like I got this and now I'm ready to learn more. So Lilia might not be dead, dude. She might not.
I mean, as we get to episode 9, we will talk about how things are left, but
yeah.
Episode 7, probably the best episode.
That's good.
Super awesome tarot card reading where she's like, I'm the one who needs the reading and stuff like that. Like self-awareness kind of thing. Yeah. Self-sacrifice. Super, super awesome. Mm-hmm. And then when she calls you a coward, hit the deck. All of the things that she says, she's like the clairvoyant, like the future seer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just love all of that. As you're watching it all the way through, I would highly recommend you guys watch every single episode in a row. Really, really awesome stuff. So, all right, moving on. Episode 8.
On here, episode 8 does not have a name. No. So now I'm going to have to go back and see, does it actually have a title card?
On the show? We need to go definitely watch that. Okay. So it opens with Alice being healed. Death takes her. She's like, I'm not ready. I need more time.
Yeah.
Always like bargaining and stuff like that, which is one of the signs of grief.
Yep.
Death and dying and stuff. So really a lot of cool like mortal questions and things like that. So
and then Death says to her, you're a protection witch, like you died protecting someone,
right?
And she's like, you served your purpose.
I think what I wrote here is she says, you're distracting me from him.
Oh,
I think that was the whole conversation they had.
The conversation between Agatha and Rio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was like, this whole time you've been trying to distract me from, which we now know Wiccan is Billy. They are one person.
Yeah.
Because he died when Wanda took away the hex, but his subconscious.
It's like at least
his soul was still alive.
It's like his soul. At least on like Marvel Wiki, it's like his soul fragment or something like that.
Yeah, found a new body, which technically William Kaplan did die. So Billy at this point is just moving into host, and we also learned that Rio can't just kill Billy because he would just go into a new vessel.
But she said it was like unnatural and stuff like that. So he's like going against like the natural order.
Ordinance.
Well, it would just be natural order.
Oh my god.
It's not an ordinance. Ordinance is like a law.
You're an ordinance.
Like a noise ordinance.
You are.
Okay.
So she basically, he has to surrender himself.
She was saying pretty much turn himself in to die willingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did like about this episode is that Agatha's like, give me more time. And Rio's like, okay. And then she like cuts through like the forest, but it's like a picture.
But they had a conversation, and the conversation that they also were having at that time was that she was like, I can't believe you're going along with this as something that's not even and she was going to say real, but Agatha cuts her off and she's like, don't do it. Like, don't say that.
Oh, yeah. Because does Death know that it's all an illusion at this point?
So, well, gave it away.
Well, hey, if you're watching this episode, you've probably seen all of Agatha All Along, so...
Gave it away.
Apologize. I did like this episode, though, because Agatha's, like, telling Billy to, like, pretty much look for a body, and then they find, like, the kid that's, like, drowning and stuff like that.
I like this episode because it shows Agatha at this point also sacrificing herself to help other people find their power. I like this episode because...
Jen,
when they found out that Agatha was the one who bound her. And what I like about this, which I figure ties into episode... What was it?
The poison episode?
Yeah. Episode 3? Because Agatha looks at Jen directly in the eyes and says, I always hated you, but I knew what you were doing was more important. She said they can...
real work.
Yeah. She was like, they can take your power, but they cannot take your knowledge. So the fact that Agatha like helped her with that, but also is a person who binded her, and then Jen unbounded herself from Agatha was like crazy.
Oh, with like the reversal spell she did,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then she helps Billy figure out
how to save Tommy.
To save Tommy. Like she's giving you, and I want to jump a little bit further.
Well, let's just.
Okay, go ahead.
We're almost on episode 9.
Great episode, though. Amazing.
Episode 8, really, really good episode. I like that it kind of goes from like this fantasy forest into like this like sci-fi like room where they're in like the body bags and stuff. It kind of like really changes the aesthetic, which I really, really enjoyed. So we'll go right into episode 9 because we want to get to our thoughts and feelings since we have a lot of those. Episode 9 is our flashback with Agatha in 1750 and Nicholas Scratch being born. I guess the only question I would have is like, who's the father? Things like that. And then like, so I think you probably have a good answer for this. The whole thing about death, was Nicholas Scratch destined to die?
I think that he was supposed to die during childbirth.
I think you're right.
And she's like, I can only give you more time. And so I know a lot of people on TikTok were saying that the reason why Nicholas Scratch died is because they didn't kill a witch that day, and he died in his sleep that night.
That same like
and he was like, Mom, we can go kill witches tomorrow, but tomorrow never came because they didn't kill one.
Was that the bargain?
I don't think there was ever like a true bargain, but it's like, hey, like I'm giving her bodies to have more time with my son.
Because if Death's whole thing is like, I need a body, she was giving her bodies. The one day she didn't give a body was the day she took Nicholas.
Right. Oh. Right. So what I was going to say is that tied into what I was saying about episode 8 is that you learn that Nicholas and Agatha created the ballad themselves. It was a song that they just made together, and because they were always traveling and you know. So the fact that they made this song together, and then you're on this witch's road that at this point we know kind of doesn't really exist.
In episode 9 we learned it doesn't exist. Yeah. So we're on track.
Agatha gave them something from a road that she created that people all these years thought that they would get something from anyways, which I think is amazing. Yeah. Like that's cool. Like she made the road real. Like Billy made it, but she gave them
like the purpose
from what you would get from the road.
That's like my whole thing about this Billy creating it, because he knew from the ballad that many miles of tricks and trials and stuff like that. So like he knew, but like, did he like, was it like Wanda creating the hex out of like grief and sorrow that she like did it subconsciously? I think it was like subconscious. Or is he thinking like, I'm going to create this?
All right. They're on the move. He sent me his location. Okay. I don't think Billy knew like, oh my God, I'm going to create this. I think it is what he desired the most was the road.
To go on the road.
And then being in Agatha's house. And we know that sometimes like these things can be created out of fear, which was something Wanda was going through. All the Salem 7 kind of coming at Billy upstairs. He's like, I need to get away. and then this door opens, or this door appears.
Sure. Yeah. As he's like coming down the stairs or whatever it was. Or like when he's like in the highest fear, that's when it appears, then he comes down. Yeah. True. True. Yeah, so episode 9, I didn't think it was the weakest episode. Not my favorite episode. I did like that.
I liked episode 9.
I liked it too, but my biggest question for episode 9 is, so we're luring witches to the witch's road that is a fable to create bodies for death. She continues to kill witches to gain more power, out of vengeance, out of sorrow, out of grief at the end, like after Nicholas Scratch had passed, after he was taken by death.
I think that Wanda was supposed to die. Or not Wanda, sorry, Agatha was supposed to die. And that's why at the end of episode 9, or was it episode 9?
It was episode 9 when she went, I think.
No,
like the
it was episode...
Or was it episode 8?
It was episode 8.
Oh,
when they were having the discussion.
The kiss of death.
When they were having the discussion, and she says, if I deliver Billy to you, you let me free, and I can die a long time from now.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that at some point, Agatha was supposed to die, and
she's probably the next to die after Nicholas.
I did this for my son, and it worked. So,
oh, so why not? Why would it work for me?
Stop doing it, and I guess at some point, her and Rio fall in love. We don't even know about that story, but they're lovers. Because she tells her at the beginning of episode 9, "My love, please don't."
Agatha says that
to Rio. She's like, "Yeah, my love, please don't."
But also in the comics, like, not everybody, but there's a lot of characters that have like this crazy infatuation with death, and the best example is Thanos. He has like this crazy love for death, and that's why he's trying to murder half the universe to appease death.
I didn't know that.
That's like the reason for it. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit different in the movies, but in the comics, he's setting out to do that to like pretty much impress her. And she always like shoves him off and doesn't give him the time of day, essentially. So it would make sense that, like, you know, this inevitable, like, you know, death being inevitable, things like that maybe causes you're always thinking about death, you're falling in love with death. I don't know what it is, but
Rio also says to Agatha, like, why do you keep letting them believe these things about you? That she gave her son for the Darkhold and all that kind of stuff, which wasn't...
Oh, she says that?
Yeah, she's like, why do you keep letting them believe these evil or these bad things about you?
Oh, is that so? That was like part of the rumor. That was like a rumor.
Yeah, the rumor was that Agatha gave her son for the Darkhold.
Oh, okay.
When she didn't, she lost her son to death.
Yeah. Maybe that was.
And so I think episode 9 does a good job of showing you that, like, Agatha was she was killing witches to help her son live. But for people who have kids, I mean, because we have kids, I wouldn't like kill for my kids, but like I go to bat for my kids 100%, no matter what. How far are you willing to go for your child?
Yeah, this is an extreme example, but yeah, that's the example, you know. But I wonder if maybe she said something about that for the Darkhold because maybe it sounded better. It was easier for her to
cope
with it. Like, oh, if everyone thinks of me as this cold-hearted person, as opposed to like a sympathetic mother, maybe it's easier for her to go through life. Maybe it's easier for her to kill witches. Yeah. Because everyone thinks she's cold-blooded anyway, you know, something like that.
Yeah. So I definitely cried a couple times.
There was a few cry moments.
Yeah, there was. You feel for her in that moment.
Yeah, they do a good job of making her sympathetic, even though she's just kind of cold-blooded. But yeah, I like that episode, and I was pretty much anticipating that would occur, that this episode would occur. All right, so that rounds out our discussion of episode 1 through 9 of Agatha All Along. Super, super awesome. We super enjoyed it. Yeah. Definitely top tier Marvel TV show for sure, without a doubt. Without
Garrett.
A doubt. Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah,
Duckworth.
Garrett.
Yeah. Where are you at now with your audience is so tiny? No, I'm just kidding. Love you, man.
No, he said he likes it too, but yeah. I hope this has changed your mind.
I commented on his, because he did like an episode 1 and 2 review. I commented on his video and he said they liked it. So
yeah.
So
I knew it was going to be great.
Boys from Duck Takes, let us know how you guys liked it, man, because we loved it. So we love you guys. So now we're going to just open the floor for thoughts, questions, theories.
You have any theories?
I mean, so if this episode went all the way through, like, this Witch's Road thing, and that Billy created it, and it gave people what they needed, and then it shows Jen, like, flying away, so is Jen going to be done? Is she going to come back somehow? She was a pretty good character, getting her power back and stuff like that. So if Billy created it... Oh, well, she got her power back because she broke the binding spell.
She broke the binding spell.
But, like, my whole thing about it is, like, all Billy knew about the ballad was, like, tricks and trials. So how... If he created the road, how could he have, like, created, like, such accurate trials?
Yeah, that's a question I had, too.
That's, like, the biggest question I have.
For you to know everyone's...
Like, oh, Alice has this family curse, and you didn't even... Like, you barely knew about her until Agatha said it, and you barely knew about Jen being a potions guy until Agatha said it. Like, unless you did all this crazy research, but he said, I know a lot about you, about Agatha... But did he... There's no way he could have known... He literally said, like, can you write that down about the Covenstead 3-mile radius thing?
The thing is that really... That's also really weird, is everyone he came across everyone. Like, let's think about that for a minute. He came across Alice when she was a cop, because he was in the car.
Oh, YouTube videos?
The YouTube videos of Jen.
And then Lilia
at the bar mitzvah. And he probably came across Rio just because of the whole dying situation in general already.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know if he would have recognized that is Death.
No, but Death would have been around regardless.
Well, Death would have been lurking around.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So these are people he already came across in his life path, which is pretty cool.
My other thing that I wrote down was... When they did the Witch's Ballad in the basement, Agatha says, it did not take this long last time. Is that her just, like, leaning into the con?
Yeah.
Saying, like...
Because I told him from, like, the very beginning. I was like, Agatha just wants their... Because she wanted her power. She didn't have any. And she knew the only way to get power is to blast someone, remember? And I was like, oh, I think she wants the power because she wants to try to fight the Salem 7 because they were coming for her. That's why she was like, I don't have time for this. Blast me, you bitches. Because without her power, she's going to die.
Yeah, but then in the episode 9, you learned that the whole thing is just a con to steal power. That's the whole thing about, like, you guys are a fraud, you guys are disappointments. Because she was trying to... And then, like, in the past, all the people would be like, oh, screw you. And then...
But at that time, she already had power. She just wanted more. This time, she had no power. She had none.
Oh, you mean in, like, the 1700s and stuff? Like, in the past?
Yeah, like, at the time, she had her power. She was just gaining more. But this time, the Salem 7 was outside, coming to kill her.
And is that why she was so powerful, comparable to the Scarlet Witch? Because she had absorbed all those witches' powers?
I think so.
That's probably it, yeah.
So she's like, I don't have time for this blasphemy bitches. Like, come on, because they're here. I'm about to die.
Oh, you think it was literally about the Salem 7? That she just didn't want to die?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was pretty much all I had was... like, Billy creating the trials, like, her just being kind of a ruthless murderer. My other thing was, like, I felt... Watching it all the way through, I felt really bad for Mrs. Hart because Agatha, I think, just needed an extra body.
Yeah.
You know, because she went to Mrs. Hart knowing full well that she was going to that she was going to kill the witches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was her entire thing. It led up perfectly with, like, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, that, like, into, like, the 80s or whatever it was, into all these, like, eras that she's, like, killing witches. And then it led up to the basement, and she literally went to Mrs. Hart knowing full well that she was just going to kill her, which, you know, is pretty ruthless. She's sympathetic as a character, sure,
well,
but...
I don't know if she was going to kill Mrs. Hart because she knew she couldn't get any power from her.
Oh, because Mrs. Hart couldn't blast her?
Right. They were just like, we need it. Where's your grain
you just need or she had to do it for the con for the fifth witch, I guess. Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay.
I wrote, so we know now that, like, some of the things that happen are, like, worst fears, right?
Mm-hmm.
Agatha's worst fear, do we really think that was her mother or death or Nick or her son?
Or losing her son.
So I wrote, is the whole Witch's Road actually appearing, like, with Billy, her worst fear? Is the illusion of that her worst fear, and she had to go through it?
Because it was just a con all the time?
Yeah.
That's actually an awesome thought, because it was never supposed to be real. She was using it as a way to lure people in.
Right.
And, like, smelling the dirt and stuff like that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But then, like, my whole thing about the trials is, like, okay, the Ouija board spelling out Nicholas Scratch and, like, Evanora Harkness showing up. Where are you in existence? You know what I mean? Are you outside of time? Because, like, the parents in episode 9 were, like, or episode 8 or I think 9, like, you've been gone for 24 hours. So, like, did time stop? Like, were you outside of time? I don't know. Very confusing. Awesome show, but this whole thing about him creating the road, I feel like it would have been better if it was a true thing. And then Agatha was like, oh, never expected this because it's never happened before. You know, like, I don't know. But
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, are these things Agatha could have known? Are these things that Agatha could have known about these people? Do you think?
Oh, about the other witches?
Yeah.
Well, she knew that she was a divination witch and a potions witch and a protection witch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is the road, all of it, Agatha's biggest fear? And because she knows all this information, it manifests as a whole.
Because it's like...
It's an illusion.
Becoming true to her a little bit? Sure. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, you like it?
I do.
You don't like it, baby?
I like it.
I don't think I have any other notes.
No.
Oh, I do notice something. So in WandaVision, episode 1, they're on the calendar. They're like, oh, what's tonight?
The heart.
It's a black heart.
Was it a black heart?
It's a black heart.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I was like, was that because Vision is supposed to be dead?
And it's like the black heart of death? And that's
when the illusion started?
Well, the whole thing about her creating the hex was she stole Vision's body from Sword.
I know. And Vision is supposed to be dead. So was she out of order and death was, like, supposed to come? Because Wanda is a witch.
But I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting one, too, because Vision's not organic.
But, like, that's the thing. We know now.
So does his body still count as a body for death? You know, like that's a good question.
Because now we know when we're talking about death or Rio, and that's who they needed. It just is a black heart. Lilia only drew a black heart. There was no name.
Yeah.
So on the calendar, if it's only a heart, are we implied that it is Rio?
Because was it like filled in black? Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Dude, see, that's like either like you, Marvel, knowing the comics, following it, or like creating a very clear road path. Like, so good on you, because we literally went back and watched WandaVision, and there's so many, like, pretty much Easter eggs that lead into stuff that's in Agatha all along.
Yeah.
So super, super awesome. So again, let us know your thoughts, feelings, theories, questions. I don't know if I can answer them, but let us know in the comments, because that's engagement. And yeah. All right, so that was a pretty super awesome discussion about Agatha All Along. Super great Disney Plus show. You guys should definitely watch it. Mm-hmm. If we recommend anything, it's to watch this show for sure. So, thoughts, feelings, questions, theories. You think you got it all on the table? Or is there anything else?
I think so. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Super entertaining. Like, we watched it all the way through sequentially. I don't think there was too many downswings.
No.
You know what I mean? Mm-mm. Too many moments that were like stopping the momentum. I thought it all flowed
together. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. All right. So to end, our second to last thing, because we got our question of the day coming up, which I've definitely prepared. I'm going to do a finish the lyric of the Witch's Ballad with my wife. Because we listen to this song all the time. See how much she knows about it. Alright, so I'm going to say like the first line, like the first half of the line, and then you're going to try to finish it. Okay? Do you want me to sing it or should I just speak it?
I don't know. I'm probably not going to remember the song right now, but go ahead.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, the first verse. We'll do it verse by verse. Seekest thou the road to...
All that's foul and fair.
Nice. Gather sisters fire.
Water, earth, and air.
Perfect. Darkest hour, wake thy power.
Witchly and divine?
Earthly and divine.
Earthly and divine.
Close.
Whatever.
Burn and brew with coven true and...
Glory shall be thine.
Perfect. Yeah, dude. You're killing it right now. and then the chorus, the last line of the first chorus is, down the witch's road, circle sown with fate.
Unlock thy hidden gate.
Perfect. Dude, you're crushing this.
It's like a pop quiz.
Marching ever forward.
I don't know.
Neath the hooded shrine.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I stray not from the path.
I hold thou hand in mine.
I hold death's hand in mine.
Hold death's hand in mine.
Close. That was good. Primal night giveth sight.
I don't know.
What do they call Teen? Her
Pet,
but also it starts with an F. Familiar. Familiar by thy side. If one be gone, we carry on.
I don't know this verse.
Spirit as our guide.
Okay. We're moving on to the next segment.
And then it goes, no, there's more.
Oh my gosh.
And then it goes, down the witch's road, blood and tears and bone.
Maiden Mother Crone?
Yeah.
All right.
No, there's one more verse.
Oh, jeez, Love, wait.
This is it. This is the last one. The road is wild and wicked.
Winding through the woods.
Yeah. Where all that's wrong is right.
And all that's bad is good.
Yeah. Through many miles of tricks and trials.
I don't know.
We'll wander.
High and low.
Yeah, there you go. Tame your fears, a door appears. The time has
come to go.
Yeah, there it is. And then the last one is, follow me, my friend.
We'll journey to the end.
To glory at the end.
To glory at the end.
That was very good. Question of the day. Question of the day. I want you to answer this.
Okay.
Would you rather have, this is like a superpower question, because it's kind of like the best question of the days that I can think of, that create the best engagement. Would you rather have, without, let's say without like mind powers, like Scarlet Witch, like casting and illusions, or Doctor Strange casting and illusions?
I do Scarlet Witch casting and illusions.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like Doctor Strange's powers. Something with that giant cat head and like eating like a...
I mean, like, yeah, but that's as far as his illusion kind of goes. Like, he can do like swords and like weapons and stuff, but that's...
He can do crazy stuff.
But from what I've seen as like a Marvel movie knower, because I don't read the comics, that's all we've seen.
Yeah.
Wanda does crazy stuff. Wanda can paralyze a whole town, so...
That is true. Like, but that goes into like the mind manipulation. But like, even without that, when Doctor Strange visits her in Multiverse of Madness, she like creates that whole illusion of like the field and stuff.
She's like, I assure you, it's very real.
Yeah, and he even says like, looks real.
Yeah,
like she creates like real illusions.
I'm going Wanda.
You going with Wanda? I'm going with Doctor Strange magic. I think he's got some sick magic.
Meh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know. Would you guys rather have Scarlet Witch powers or Doctor Strange powers? Because I'm going Doctor Strange.
And I'm going Wanda.
He can fly with a cloak.
Whatever.
You're supposed to say Wanda can fly anyway.
She can. But they know that.
Well, you can also tell the people.
You know what?
Thank you guys for nerding out with us. My name is Austin. This is my wife, Ray. We are your nerd loungers.
Nerd loungers?
We'll see you next time.
Stop throwing the pen everywhere.
You gotta throw the pen.
The pens don't work, dude.
That's why they don't work.
Yeah. Okay, bye.